Good day, everyone. I'm Karen and Suarez, and so for today's video, I will be discussing and reading poem for you in Middle East and Afro-Asian literature. Also, I will be focusing the two country, which is the China and India. First, let's go to India poetry. So, Chetto Jetha by Shonyo, or in English title, Where the Mind is Without Fear. It is poet by Rabindranath Tagore. It was published in 1910. So, written before India gained its independence. This poem represents Rabindranath Tagore's vision of a new and awakened India. The first 9 lines of the poem present a number of statements beginning with where. These statements describe a place which Tagore is hoping India will be after independence. In the last 2 lines of the poem, he then makes a plea to his father for his country to wake up into that heaven of freedom. Also, Rabindranath Tagore is a towering figure in world literature and the most famous modern India poet. His best-known poetry collection is Gitanjali, and he won also the 1913 Nobel Prize for Literature. Chetto Jetta by Shonyo is the most renowned poem from Gitanjali. So here is the poem translated into English entitled by Where the Mind is Without Fear. So I will be read Where the mind is without fear, and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the deep of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom. My Father, let my country awake. And that's the poem of Rabindranath Tagore. So let's proceed to the second poem in India poetry. So here is the second poem in India poetry entitled the Meghaduta, in English, The Cloud Messenger, poet by Mahakavi Kalidasa. It was written in the 5th century AD. Kalidasa is widely regarded as the greatest Indian poet of all time, and Meghaduta is his most famous poem, consisting of 11 stanzas. The verse is unique to Sanskrit literature as it goes beyond the verse repeating chorus form normally, the form preferred for love poems, and instead swings the stanza into a narrative. Meghaduta initiated the genre of Sandesa Kavya or messenger poems, most of which are modeled on it. It has also inspired the play Maria Stuart by 18th century German dramatist Friedrich Schiller. The poems talk about a yaksha, or a nature spirit, who has been exiled to central India for neglecting his duties while pining for his life on a mountain peak. He sees a cloud and he tries to convince it to deliver a message to his beloved. He does so by describing to the cloud the many Many beautiful it will see, and it northwind versus to the Himalayan city of Alaka, where his wife awaits his return. So here the excerpt translated entitled The Cloud Messenger. For you the woman looked through tangled hair with men folk travelling and take their chair from union arched anew by your path of air, while I'll still distant to blame appear a hapless prisoner to once another's care. And that is the one of the most famous poem in India. So let's proceed to Chinese poem. First is so the first Chinese poetry entitled the Cheng Miaxue, or in English title Thoughts in the Silent Nights. It is poet by Li Bai. It was written in 701 to 762. So Li Bai was perhaps the most famous Chinese tongue poet living in what has been described as the golden age of Chinese poetry. He was a friend and drinking companion to the Du Fu, another well-known poet. So the poem expressed the poet's loneliness, pensiveness, and homesickness as he gazed up at the bright moon. So here is the poem translated by Li Bai, entitled Thoughts in the Silent Night. Moonlight reflects off the front of my bed. Could it actually be the frost of the ground? I look up to the view that bright the moon, and look down to reminisce about my hometown. Mm, hala. And the last one is in Chinese poetry, Dia Lianhua, or in English, Butterflies in Love with Flower, poet by Lu Ying. So Lu Ying was a Chinese poet in Northern Song Dynasty. His original name was Lu Sanbian. The poet longs for her lover deeply that she neglects herself in a land that she isn't familiar with, successfully portraying that the poet's love for her partner is strong that she can only think about him. So here is the poem translated entitled The Butterflies in Love with Flowers. So I will be reading. While I lean against the banister of a tall tower, the breeze gently blows. As I look into the distance, the end of my spring arouses melancholy in my mind. Surrounded by dewy grasses at sunset, I wondered who is able to understand my longing. I would rather drink to intoxication. One should sing with one who has wine in hand, but drinking to escape offers no reprieve. I do not mind that my clothes are getting looser. So that's the end of the poem. And thank you for listening. I hope you will learn something, and thank you.